Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we are taking up this single wire, which is right here. It's about 10 to 12 inches off the ground. That is poly braid, and we got the O'Brien step-in post. And the reason this works so well is, first of all, we've got them trained. The ones that wouldn't respect the wire, we got rid of. And if you have one sheep that doesn't respect it and goes through that wire, you got to get rid of it. Whether you make it part of your dinner fare, or take it to sale barn, or sell it to a friend, or whatever, but you can't keep one that keeps jumping through that fence. So we started out with 3 poly wires, and we went to 2, and then we're down to 1. And we've been on 1 now for 3 years. And well, you can see where the sheep are. So we're not back fencing. The grass is not growing back. We're not going to be back here for probably 40 to 50 days. And we will come back to this winter, because you can see how much feed we left. I mean, this is what they're on. Okay. So we still have a good grazing left behind them. And fescue does stand up really well to winter weather. And you see the dogs are in here with them. There's 2 of them out there, this lady, and the dog on the right is a young male we call a wild dog. And there's Big Boy up there by the persimmon grove. But man, I tell you what, folks, these sheep are fat. They've really done well on stockpile, basically. That's all that you're looking at here, stockpile. No hay, no grain, just winter stockpile. So again, you know, the best medicine you can give a sheep is to move them. And I had a guy the other day say something about, well, you know, you claim they're parasite resistant and all that. Well, how do you know? You're moving them all the time. Folks, we're moving them every 2 days. These sheep, on day 1, we'll build a campsite underneath a tree like that, the highest point, and they go back to that point. So they're still exposing themselves to a ton of manure. Not as much as if you moved them every week, or if you never moved them, but my reply to that is, shame on you. If you're gonna have animals and you don't want to move them, well, then don't get them. Because how would you like to be put in a paddock or in a room and never get moved out of it ever? That's ridiculous. You're gonna have unhealthy animals, and so my response to any livestock person is, you ought to move your animals. Move them. Do that. They're really digging this new paddock. They're gonna go charging around it, seeing where the candy's at. Of course, there's a Big Boy at the back. It's just a wonderful symbiosis of the sheep, the dogs, and the landscape. Here's our autumn olive bush. So they just got exposed to that. I'm guessing that's going to look a little different in 2 days. There won't be a leaf left on it as high as they can reach. So it's pretty darn good feed. Well, I can show you one. Here, there's still a few leaves left on this one. Not too many, but a few. You can see they've cleaned the limbs. There's not too many leaves left on the outer limbs. Now, up here, they can't reach those. If that was a goat, they could stand on their hind legs and reach it. Well, there's a juicy little autumn olive right there. They're gonna be working on it. These are all ewes and ewe lambs, and there's just a handful of withers in here. The rams, we got them on the ram farm. We're going to turn them in December 1st. So that'll be coming up next week. And it'll be a mad fest of breeding. We'll turn about I don't know, we got about 6 to 10. I think we got 6 older rams and about 4 really nice young ones that we kept. And we use a lot of rams. I have ram power. And occasionally we'll have somebody call and ask us if we've got one that we would sell. And so I keep back about 4 or 5 more than I actually need just to fill that market. These are St. Croix, Katahdin cross. There's a little bit of Florida native in some of these. But they're tough sheep. I mean, since this is 2022, in 19 years, they've never been wormed. They've never been fed any grain, and they won't eat hay. You can unroll it for them. They'll kind of play with it, lay in it, walk through it, but they won't really eat it. Now, if it was alfalfa hay, that'd be different. But my saying to that is, if you're going to buy a bale of alfalfa hay, you might as well not have sheep, because you're going to have more money in them than you can make. Sheep have got to be able to make it on this landscape. And if they can't make it on this, they're no good for me. They're not doing me any good. They're just costing me money. But they're actually making money out here because they can produce lambs on this. And when I say lambs, I'm talking about twins. A large majority of these sheep will have twins. It was 2 years ago, we averaged 2.05 lambs per year. This last year we were at 1.8, 1.79 I think it was. 1.79 lambs per year, which is awful good for not having to feed any hay. That's why you want dogs, folks. Everybody's talking about guard donkeys and llamas and all that and stuff, which is fine. And I understand. I looked at that really hard, because I was at the mindset that I didn't want a dog out here. I wanted to be able to move my sheep, not have to worry about dog feed, and just put a donkey out here. I was actually looking at both, donkeys or llamas. I didn't care which. And thank goodness for an old rancher in Oklahoma. I say old, he wasn't old at that time. He was just an experienced rancher. And Wally Olson told me, he said, Greg, let me tell you my story. He had, it was 8 llamas that he had with his sheep, and him and his wife Doris went to a picture show that night. I think it was in Tulsa. Spent the night, and when they came home the next morning, them llamas was hiding in the barn. He had 350 dead ewes that were either dead or ripped, and a whole pack of dogs came in there and just absolutely attacked those sheep. And those llamas saved their butt. They took off running and went up into the barn. That's how fast the action got. And the dogs just had a free-for-all. They just killed and killed and killed. And Wally's parting advice to me was, well, Greg, do you know how many bags of dog feed I could have bought for 350 dead sheep? I'm like, probably enough to last you your lifetime. He goes, yep. He said, if you're going to guard against predators, put some fangs in your sheep. Put some fangs out there. Right there's a fang, right there. I mean, she is vicious toward predators. There's another one. Looks like a sheep until you look closer. There's 2 of them up there. Okay? When we bring the rams home, we're going to have 5 in here because I got 2 dogs running with the other flock. Folks, we got dogs, guardian dogs. They live with the sheep. They protect the sheep. They enjoy it. It's part of their deal. That's the way they were bred. They've been doing this for thousands of years. So if you're going to make the investment in the fence and the land and the livestock, protect them. Don't put something out there that's going to run hide in the barn. You don't want that. You want something that'll stand their ground, and these dogs will stand their ground. I've seen them with rips in their face where they got into bobcats. We don't have mountain lions that live here. Now they come through, but they don't live here that I know of. Heck, they may, I don't know. But we don't have bears. They do down in South Missouri. But these dogs will absolutely freak out if they smell something strange. Even another dog, they're barking at them. All their hackles are up and they're running. And we sold the dog to a guy in Ohio. He sent me a great picture This is a big dog, a big guardian dog. And that dog, we went up that morning, there he was playing with something. He walked up to it, and I've got a picture of it. That dog had ripped the whole tail off of a coyote. Ripped the whole tail off, bone and all. He was playing with it like a feather duster. So, I think I've made my point. I just hate to see people get started, oh, I don't need a guard dog, and then they lose all their sheep. And they call me in the middle of the night, Greg, I really could use a guard dog. You can't go get one immediately off the shelf. You can't do that. It takes a year or more to train one. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get back off of that and enjoy the rest of our beautiful day here with our sheep on stockpile fescue and whatever else they're eating out there, weeds and brush. Have a good one, folks, and hit that subscribe button on the way out. Take care.